A knife is not a toy. You cannot drop it. No, it's false. You just
Guys, I have the answer key. It is false. When you hand off a knife, someone says handing off, and when you hold it, when you got it, they say got it. That is so that they know that they can let go. What happens if you don't have it?
Oh, you drop
Remember, you could drop it and
Yeah.
cut yourself.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
your brother showed us last time.
No, I didn't mean that.
This is easy.
I didn't mean
knife
to.
when it's falling.
Toy. True.
Exactly.
No knife is safer than
We
a sharp
never.
Knife is not a toy. True or false?
Boys. All right. So.
Hey, don't say it out loud.
We got a knife safety quiz coming up. And today's knife safety is a video. Uh-oh. Oh, crud. All right, gotta move on from knife safety until my computer warms up. Tony, where's your binder? Where did you put your binder, Tony?
I'm just gonna keep it. Might be in his backpack.
Oh, for Christmas, I'm gonna use backpack.
If I get mine before Christmas.
Ah, here it is.
What? 2 pens.
Okay. So we'll do knife safety in a minute. Beat of the drum. Did anyone do their reading for the Native American thing?
Me.
Good. Go ahead and have a seat.
I'm India. I did not have enough time.
I just did it for Boy Scouts started. What's Richard?
Okay, so I got my list of stuff.
Tony, Richard
Who was supposed to do what?
Did you see the house?
Violin class?
Yeah,
So?
over there.
Who was supposed to do?
No. Did not do it.
Mason, I'll show you, brother.
All right, guys. So this weekend we're working on our Native American projects. Okay. Logan, did you do yours?
What?
Your Native American project?
No.
Okay.
I did.
I didn't.
All right.
I didn't.
We were prepared for this stuff, weren't we, Mom?
No, we were not.
I didn't even know what stuff to bring. Come on,
All right, come sit, Tony. See you at 7? All right. So Tony, you did yours, right? Come here. Tell everyone what you learned about.
Okay.
Stand up. How do what be used?
Tool.
Bones and
Wood
say it loud.
to make tools for hunting,
Hunting.
and cooking. They also make
Hose.
and
Digging.
tools for growing gardens. They make canoes, hollow logs, and Zealand. In winter, they use snowshoes made of wood and animal hide.
Hide. Very good.
They use horses and saddle tools. And after
European.
Europeans,
Settlers.
settlers came.
Good job. So Tony had tools and transportation, and they used wood and bones to make the tools, and for hunting and cooking. And they used wood for the bows and animal skin for the arrows, or for the string for the bows. For the arrows, they used stone, and they used a flint stone that they could carve into a point. Hold on a second. And they used wood for the shaft of the arrow, and then they decorated the arrow with feathers.
Yeah, feather.
And they they were able to make hoes and digging tools because they actually grew gardens and they farmed in addition to hunting and
Yeah, and
fishing.
they harvest their crop.
Mhm. They made canoes out of birchwood. Actually, they would make a frame, but they
And
also used
made-
logs, dead logs, and they carved out the middle with fire as what they call a dugout boat. Kind of like a canoe, but much heavier. The canoes they would make had a wood frame, and they used birch bark on the outside of it, and it was much lighter, and that's how they traveled until the Europeans came and brought horses and metal. And when the Europeans came, instead of traveling by rivers like they used to, they started traveling by horses on land. And in the winter, before they had the horses,
Where's
they
your
would
wave
use
ID?
snowshoes because when they were hunting, the
Mrs.
snow would.
Bernanke, where's your wave ID?
My what?
Wave ID
Your wave ID.
My wave ID.
for the printer?
I don't have an ID for the printer.
Where is it?
She doesn't have one.
We don't have one for the scouts.
Because we don't need one.
So anyways, they would use snowshoes, which are big, they're like boots, only much bigger than their foot, like 3 feet long. And then because it was so long, they wouldn't sink so much in the deep snow, because it made their weight spread out over that length. So they use these long wooden shoes to walk through the snow without falling deep into the snow. They'd walk on top. Pretty cool, huh? Maybe this winter we'll get to go snowshoeing. Would you guys like to try that?
Yeah.
Pretty
What?
You've snowshoed before.
No?
They have.
What?
But they can't put it.
All right.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Or something. Let's
So Mason, you said you did yours?
Yeah.
Okay, Mason, why don't you stand up here and turn around and face everybody? Come right by me. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Sure, we're gonna make a trip to the library. All right. What did you have, sweetie? You had government. Woo-hoo-hoo. Uh-oh. Sit up. So come up right next to me, buddy. Right here.
1 point.
Let's get it on the screen here. Alright, so, did you write it in your slot? Nope. Alright, what'd you learn about?
Nurse.
The government, okay.
The North Americans
Uh-huh.
is
Talk real loud, because we're gonna get you in the video cam over there. You can't see his microphone. Alright. So do you know how they govern?
it. It's joined.
Mm-hmm. They join groups together?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the little clans or little families join together
Yeah.
to form what they call a council?
Council.
Yeah. And then the council had the tribes have a
Her.
chief.
Chief.
And chief is in,
Chief.
yeah.
And the next chief would be the his son.
Uh-huh.
Then if he didn't have any more sons, it would pick someone.
Yes, very good. So in addition to the tribes are made up of little family clans, and each tribe had a chief, right? And then to help the chief, they had what they called elders. Elders, right?
Yeah.
And the elders help make rules, kind of like judges. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
This is for class and can share some notes. Let me know.
Yes, when we're done with our project. Okay. Richard's not here today. He had Wellings. Do you guys remember? Oh, Richard, yes. Sorry, I was thinking, sorry. Sorry.
Richard.
Richard, did you do your project?
Yes.
Do you remember what kind of houses the Native Americans lived in?
My mom watched a video
Uh-huh.
with my brother,
Uh-huh.
and their house was a tent, and somebody stole their house.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Awesome. That's not good, is it? Do you guys remember from our outing at the museum last year what kind of houses the Native Americans are the Potawatomi lived in?
I think it's the big white house.
Nope. There's a
No, I
special
know-
word
I
for
mean,
it.
like Abraham Lincoln lived. Forest
No.
that
Hunting West.
that the
Wigwams! Very good. They didn't live in tents. They didn't live in teepees, right?
teepee.
No, they lived in
Teepee, what kind of
wigwams.
teepee? What kind of teepee?
They lived in
Wigwams
wigwams.
are
They lived in wigwams, which were those structures made out of twigs and branches, and then they wrapped leaves and
No, they didn't.
rugs.
No,
Yes, they did.
they live in tents.
No. The Sioux, one of our neighbors, lived in teepees, but not these guys. Our Potawatomi, which is the council that we're a part of, they lived in wigwams. So they took everything from the ground around them. Yep. Actually, and we're gonna get back to that in a second. Sam, I believe you had religious beliefs. You wanna get up here and present? Tony, go ahead and sit. You can talk about it.
Hey, where's Richard?
I don't know.
No.
He went out with his dad.
Jamil, did you do your project? Okay. Okay. Tyler, you said you didn't do it, right? No. AJ, you said you didn't do it.
I know a lot about it.
No. Don't play with the light.
I can't even find it.
No. No. It's not time. No.
I can't even
Tony,
find it.
Tony, sit down.
Sam, I don't know why you
Tony,
have
sit
your
down in your
packet
chair.
here with you. Did you bring it?
Hungry.
Yeah, he
Oh.
had that with his,
Ernie, don't sit
Okay.
there.
it was in his binder.
Okay. Here you go, buddy. Why don't you get up and talk about it?
You can talk about what you.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it.
Okay, so I'll read from the fast facts, guys, since a lot of you guys didn't do the work. That's okay.
I did the work.
You did, and I'm very proud of you. Get a treat. You're gonna be there this weekend, right?
Yes, I'll be there this weekend.
Okay,
Who's going to be?
so the homes, the early Potawatomi lived in bark-covered homes called wigwams. Sometimes round.
Rocky, I have a question. Would Paige be coming?
I don't know. Sometimes
Let's see.
round, sometimes rectangular. Their winter homes were dome-shaped because it was easier to keep the fire in the dome, keep it warm. Today, the Potawatomi live in modern houses and apartments. In the past, they would fish and hunt for their food. They also farmed rice, berries, and then they'd look for berries and nuts. Now, most of them buy their food at the grocery store. Long ago, their clothing was made of deer skin. They began wearing cloth pants when the Europeans came and started trading in the late 1600s. Now they wear modern clothing, except for during special events when they wear their Native American clothing. The Potawatomi language belongs to the Algonquin family, which was from the northeast coast, which is where they moved from. That's what they spoke. And they called themselves, Anthony, please sing. They called themselves Neshnabanek. Neshnabanek, which means original people.
It means original people, Tony.
The word, the Potawatomi come from the Ojibwa word, which means Potawatomi. It means people of the fire.
Mom, I got a question.
There are several different bands of Potawatomi throughout the United States, And their tribal lands include Oklahoma, Kansas, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Other nations also live in Canada. Some live on reservations and some live in cities.
I can go.
So,
I'm feeling so hungry.
I know.
Can we get a snack?
I don't have snack for you guys. No. Did you bring a snack?
No.
Okay. If you guys want snack, you'll need to figure out who brings snack. I can't afford to bring snack every time.
Mom, here's the time for jelly bars.
I
Listen
don't
to
have
me.
any dilly bars.
All right. So in the
The time,
beginning, guys, the Potawatomi, okay, they lived on the northeast coast. In the beginning, the Potawatomi lived on the northeast coast of the U.S., where the Pilgrims came to.
Go to the bathroom.
No. They lived on the northeast coast where the Pilgrims landed, okay? They got kicked out of there by the Iroquois, and they had to move west. So they moved west both south across Ohio and north across Canada. And they landed in Michigan. And then they got kicked out of Michigan and had to move on a little bit further, and they moved to Wisconsin. That's how they got here. Now,
and we let them stay here.
when the European settlers came to Wisconsin, they did some trading. But in the late 1800s, when the government started getting kicked up in Wisconsin, the Potawatomi got moved off land. They got moved off the big part of land that they had, like throughout Milwaukee and Waukesha and all the southeast. They got moved to just a small spot up north, where it was much colder. And they couldn't farm as good. And they got moved down to Oklahoma and Kansas too. And so the government decided in the late 1800s that they wanted to take over a lot of the rest of the country that we have now. So they moved further. As we moved further west, the Indians' land got taken away from them, and they got moved to these small plots of land where they had to live in crowded spaces. A lot of them died on the way to these reservations. Okay, these small plots of land were called reservations. A lot of them died on the way. They call it the Trail of Tears. You'll probably learn about that in the next and fourth
The
grade.
chair of death.
They call it the Trail of Tears. Now, wouldn't you be sad if you got pushed out of your home and forced to live in an apartment with like 20 other people? Would you guys not like that?
I would like it.
I
I
get
would.
to get
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think everyone else out.
Would you guys like to live in a one-bedroom apartment about this size with 20 people?
Yeah, because I would kick everyone out, like teacher said.
So, that's what happened basically, is they got moved off their widespread land to a much smaller space and with a lot more people on it.
And one tribe, actually the government let them stay, but then signed a treaty to give up some of their land, then they fought.
Yeah.
So one tribe.
So the government, they kept saying, oh, no, you can have this land. Oh, wait, a couple years later, we're gonna move you somewhere else, because now we want this land for us. They kept doing that back and forth, and then we started having wars with them. Wars with the Native Americans, can you believe that? Does it sound very nice?
I know.
We had it first, they had it first, and we kept taking it from them, over and over and over. What do you think about
Did we
that?
win or no?
We ended up winning because they ended up having a lot less people, because not only did they die every time we moved them, but every time we got close to them, we get them sick. We get them sick with different diseases that they've never been exposed to. Okay? So you guys should try and finish these projects, okay? So that we can get credit for it and get our badge.
The roll race, I think we might finish it, right, Mom?
You will finish it, yeah.
Yep.
Or by Saturday. At least by Saturday.
Well, Saturday, are you guys coming? I'm assuming
I don't even know
not.
what time,
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
and where is it at?
The Milwaukee Public Museum.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not making that.
Yeah, I didn't have you guys sign up
Yeah,
for it.
no.
So, okay, quick rundown. In the early 1600s, they get kicked out of Michigan by the Iroquois, who had to move west as well. And then the French traders came in 1641 and made contact with the Potawatomi. Then the French were kicked out of North America in 1763. Then in 1776, we declared the U.S. declared their independence from England. 1783, England gives up their land in the Northwest Territory where the Potawatomi live. So they gave it to us. 1794, the Potawatomi lose their battle of Fallen Timbers and lose their land to American settlers. Between 1795 and 1833, the Potawatomi lose more and more land to the United States and get forced to move to Kansas and Oklahoma. By 1913, the strolling Potawatomi are finally recognized and given land by the U.S. government in northern Wisconsin. And then in 1991, they open a casino in Milwaukee. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That spans, listen to me, that spans over 400 years before they're finally given a place to settle down.
Yay.
Can you believe that?
Yay.
What if it took us 400 years to find a room to do our den meetings in? Speaking of, we gotta get moving on.
Moving on. Yay.
All right. Oops, Mama just ripped everything out of here.
We don't want.
All right. So we did our beat of the drums. So we have to get kind of caught up on our bare necessities. So you guys did a lot of your badge work when we did the camp overnight, okay? But we have to kind of review a little bit. You guys did the campfire show, and we're gonna do another one for the blue and gold dinner. What should we take along? What are the 6 things? You guys know what the 6 things are you need to take along? The 6 essentials?
What? Soda.
There's always one in a group, right?
Tony and Richard. Come on.
Candy.
What are the 6 essentials? You need to have food in your backpack when you're hiking. Water. Food, water.
Whistle.
Safety. Yeah.
Compass.
Nope.
That's safety.
Adrian, she called
What
me.
happens if you get hurt? What do you need?
First
First aid kit.
DJ, why you yell out? Just.
Jamil.
I know it. Shelter.
You said what?
Shelter. I said shelter. I know it.
A partner.
Nope. 6 essentials that go in your
My
backpack.
partner is right there.
How do we see?
Ah!
Glasses.
How do we see at night?
Night vision goggles. Flashlight.
Flashlight. Tony?
That's my night vision.
You don't need shelter to hike.
Yeah, Butterfingers tonight.
I do.
But Mommy's trying to eat. I'm eating soon.
First aid kit. Water. Food.
Flashlight.
Flashlight. First aid kit, water, food, flashlight. Whistle. And
Tony, stop.
Did the math? Tony, Jamil, stop.
guys, Tony, give it back. How do we protect ourselves from the when it's bright out? Sunscreen, sun protection of some sort.
There's 7.
Glasses,
There's 7.
hat.
There's 7.
That's 6 essentials, okay?
Also, that
So that's what you need to have every time. It's listed in here. Memorize it, learn it, love it.
Where's your book?
There's 7. There's 7.
It's
Staff.
not in this.
what the heck? That's a fan.
Anthony Thomas. Getting the middle name out here.
Which page?
What do we need to bring along when we go on a camp out?
Food. Pillows.
Richard.
Yes.
Richard. Tent.
Yes.
Stephen Blake.
Yes.
Richard.
Pocket knife.
Good idea.
I can like the
What do we bring along to cook with?
A pot.
A pot, yes.
Machete.
And what do we need?
Machete.
Not a machete. No. What do we eat with?
Spoon. Silverware.
This den meeting's being recorded, just so you know. Y'all look fools.
So you know how many times I crossed in front of here and didn't know it? Okay, gotcha.
You're not, I was making sure you're not in camera view. It's okay. All right, listen to me. You're acting fools, yes. All right.
You can use a pocket knife to like a bear for food. You're a fool.
You need a pocket knife, yes.
I have one at home. I have one at home.
Richard,
How do we light
Richard?
a fire?
can you go sit down?
Flint and steel.
Thank you.
Steel or
Matches.
matches?
Later. Coming out. Later. You shut. Loud
We do
noises.
collect wood, okay, guys?
Lighters.
Who tells me, guys, what do you personally need to bring along when you guys
Tony,
go
no.
camping?
Hiking stick.
Water.
Okay, no, personally, when you're camping,
Ernie,
you need
Look,
to
I'm trying to figure it
personally
out.
bring what
Shelter.
to sleep in.
Shelter.
Sleeping bag.
A sleeping bag,
Tent.
a tent.
Come on.
What do you guys wear the next day?
Clothes.
What do you guys wear the next day?
Clothes.
Do you need to bring extra clothes? Do
Yes.
you need to bring extra undies?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to have bad smelling breath the next day?
Yes.
Toothpaste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Toilet.
Yeah.
What?
My brother's
What if it's raining? Thank you. What if
Coat.
you guys can't all scream at the same time?
Umbrella.
Yeah.
Coat.
Well, you wouldn't be in a
Rain hat.
Rain hat, a raincoat, a poncho.
Coat.
Yes.
We already said that. We already have.
Boots.
Hiking boots.
Hiking boots, probably a change of the things you put on before your boots.
A chainsaw.
A change of socks, maybe, in case your feet get wet.
Chainsaw.
All right.
My chains.
Now, when we did our
Chainsaw. Stand back, got a chainsaw. Stand back. Me got my weird chainsaw.
Oh, yeah,
Sit down. Now.
Find a seat, Richard. Scout signs up when you're ready. We ain't gonna get out of here on time unless you guys are ready. All right. Now, when we had our outing, I know this was a couple months ago now, we made pudgy pies and sandwiches. And we had veggies and chips and milk, right? So that covered our meat,
Food.
our bread, our vegetables,
And our dairy.
and our dairy,
And
and our
fruit.
junk
Good
food,
for you. Remember?
right?
Junk food. Yes.
What did we use to make the sandwiches?
Yes.
What did we use to make our sandwiches?
Bread.
Bread,
Jelly.
jelly,
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Ham. Brain.
ham,
Brains. Tomatoes.
cheese.
Knife.
Tomatoes.
Knife.
Fire.
Did you guys make pizza once?
Yeah.
Pizza. Pudgy pies. Pizza. Those little clam things.
Pepperoni. Pepperoni.
I'm just talking about the food part of it.
Yeah, pepperoni.
TJ, what's your
You
question?
guys,
I'm allergic to dairy.
Okay.
okay. Well, no, this was just, we were talking about what we needed to make the food that we had made. I'm not making it right now. When we set up my tent, we talked about a good place to pitch a tent, right? So if I was looking at this ground here, and this was a hill, Would I want to be at the top of the hill or the bottom of the hill?
Bottom.
Why in the world would I want to be at the bottom of a hill? The answer is that's wrong. We wouldn't want to be at the bottom of a hill.
What if it rains? Where's the rain
Exactly.
go?
Where's the rain gonna go?
Oh, top.
What about a tornado?
Underground.
Underground.
The reason why you're not on the top is because if a big raging bull comes and knocks over your tent, you're gonna go tumbling
The
down
answer
there.
is when you pick a spot for a tent, you want it to be rocky or level.
Yeah.
Which one? Rocky or level?
Level.
Level. If there are rocks there, do you get rid of the rocks or do you leave them there?
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Because you don't want to be sleeping on rocks.
Exactly. You don't want to sleep on a rock. You don't want to sleep at the bottom of a hill because if it rains, the water's going to go right into your tent and you're going to get soaking wet. You want to be at the top of a hill. Okay? Do you guys want to put your tent on a hill?
No.
No.
You would tumble down if raging bull.
Exactly. You would tumble down.
And then
What if a tsunami comes in?
Imagine how fun that would be.
When we pitch a tent, when we put the tent up,
Pinch it. How do you pinch a tent?
do you remember when we did that?
Imagine so.
What did I do first when we did that? What did I do first? You guys remember?
You make sure you had everything ready for it.
Make sure I had everything there.
Just
Yep.
guessing.
And then next, what do? We
You find a flat area.
and then what did we do? We took everything out. We unfolded my tent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because my tent was a square. We unfolded it,
And then the things.
and then we put the tent
Pull.
spikes in, right? We spiked it
What?
first.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we went diagonally, right? And we pulled tight every time, right?
But except there was one broken.
Yep, and then we put the poles in, right? And then we pulled it up to the poles, right?
And then
you connected the poles.
Okay. And then, do you guys remember the knots that we did?
No. Sort of.
I know I had it
No.
open here.
I know regular knot. We don't know how to tie
So we tied the overhand knot. I'll give you guys videos on how to do this because I found them on YouTube. Overhand. I go over and I pull through. Overhand knot. That's the same one you use for your shoes. Okay?
And we can tie it around our neck.
No, you have to tie a rope around your neck.
Yeah,
Square knot.
That's a horrible idea.
Square knot. Overhand. And then I put that one through. So now I take the left one and I go over. And now I've got a square.
That's not square. That's
It
a
is.
circle. No, it's It's
Just a square.
It's a
diamond.
oval. Diamond. Oval.
This is what you call a square knot. Okay? But left over right, pull under. Right over left, pull through. And you come out with a square.
That's a square. I see it now.
Okay?
That's not a square.
And then the half hitch is a little different. The half hitch, I can't show this on the video somehow. The half hitch goes like this. You go over and through.
Over, under, through.
You go over. You see, you get this loop here,
Under,
and you go through it.
over and through the stake. Or is it over, under, and through?
See? And then I can slide it up. I can slide it where I need it.
Tony,
Okay? This is the kind of thing you would use for pitching a tent and when you had to pull something real tight. Okay? This is how you would help make your tent more sturdy. Okay? To be able to slide it up and down as you need to. Okay, guys, come around so you can see it one more time.
I can see from back there.
All right, so watch.
Ow. Tony,
Circle,
Tony, lay down.
okay? See, I got a loop here.
Do that.
I take the tail and I put it through the loop. Okay? So now we're all caught up on knot time. Woohoo! Yay!
Boo, you stink.
All right.
Boo, you suck.
Logan, get back on the chair.
right down.
All right.
Fall right off.
And then finally, oh, I might actually get through everything today. Holy crap, little ones.
You swear, go to your room.
Yeah, you were having a potty mouth before Tim was there.
All right, L-U.
Oh my god.
Guys,
Oh my god.
You have it right now.
I want you to get off the chairs and come sit in the circle here.
Circle. Just not circle. Somehow. Somehow it's not circle.
I'm a bigger
No one's gonna be able to watch the video unless you're sitting in the circle and back up a little bit. Anthony Thomas, up here, please. I'm gonna ask you one more time.
I'm the peanut butter.
Okay, everybody's got their fingers on.
You didn't mean to bump into Sweet, go to your room.
Back up, because you guys aren't gonna be able to watch the video.
Back up, TJ.
Yourself. Okay, everybody, put your chairs.
Back up.
Richard, back up.
Back up.
Done.
No, give it to me.
Richard.
Richard, back up and sit by Tony, please. Richard. Tony, come sit by Jamil. Richard, come sit by Tony.
Logan, don't sit. Don't.
Okay, Tony.
Just because we have a break does not mean
It's a party time.
It means that we get to do
crap.
You got that shirt on like two-headed turtle.
I don't care.
Hey, do you guys know how to spell Potawatomi?
Damaging mistakes, beginners make, and some expert tips. In this charade, quick tip for you. We're going to show you how to safely and effectively clean any pocket knife. Stick around to the end to get links to other videos in our knife care and maintenance series, plus some warnings against knife.
You paused it.
Can't do this upside down.
For damaging mistakes beginners make, and some expert tips along the way.
There's nothing like a clean, sharp, and smooth opening EDC pocket knife that's ready to slice, cut, poke, or pierce at a moment's notice. But how do you keep your knife in tip-top shape and ready for action? Before you get going, you'll need a few things. First, you'll need your favorite everyday carry blade. We've grabbed 4 different styled folders to demonstrate how universal these principles are.
This is the
The
kind of
Schrade SCH911 DBS, the SCH302, the SCH501S, and the classic 5OT old timer brewer lock bag.
That's the kind that you guys
Next,
will
you'll
use.
need an old toothbrush, some Q-tips, a rag or two, and some 3-in-1 oil. General pocket knife maintenance starts with keeping your folder sharp, clean, and lubricated. We cover sharpening, lubricating, and fine-tuning your pocket knife and other Schrade quick tip videos. See the video description for links. For now, let's jump into cleaning, starting with the simple stuff. For general cleaning, simply wipe down your knife and handle after every use with a dry or slightly moist, lint-free rag. To stay on the safe side, it's a good idea to wear some leather gloves when cleaning your folder with the blade open. And when wiping your blade, make sure you do it with your palm on the spine side so you don't cut
So
yourself.
that's the top side,
If
not
at
the
all
sharp side.
possible,
The top
don't let
side.
dirt
Yeah.
dry on your blade or inside your handle. Wipe it off as soon as possible. Left to dry, blood only becomes harder to clean and can scratch and wear moving parts. Now for more serious cleaning. Start with a stiff toothbrush. Do your best to get all the gunk out of the crevices of your knife, focusing on the locking mechanism, inside the handle, and especially around the blade pivot. For getting at debris inside your handle, try using a dry Q-tip or medium-sized arc brush. You can also use high-pressure canned air to blow dust and debris out of hard-to-reach
What?
places.
We're using that
For
one,
stubborn
right?
deposits,
That kind.
No.
you can lightly
Well, we're
moisten
using
your
a folding
toothbrush rag or
but
Q-tip
it's a simple.
with a little 3-in-1 oil. One of the toughest substances to remove from a blade is tree sand. When all else fails, try hand sanitizer gel. It takes pine and other sap right off. Even though most pocket knives are made of stainless steel, they can and will rust if exposed to water, high humidity, or sweat for extended periods. And remember, it's possible that parts of your knife, like springs, bolts, locks, and screws, may not be made of stainless steel. So we don't recommend submersing or soaking your knife in water to clean it. But if you do, make sure you thoroughly dry the entire knife and apply a thin coat of oil to your blade.
Now your knife is clean and dry. The next step is treating the steel and handle and oiling the moving parts so your pocket knife works silky smooth. Just click on this link to go to part 2 of this video series. And don't forget to subscribe to this Schrade YouTube channel for more quick tip videos by pressing the subscribe
Button. Is that a short
button
video?
above. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Ways that you can connect with Schrade are in the description below, along with links to additional quick tip videos. To discover more about the gear used in this video, check the links in the video description on YouTube.
So guys, in addition to the Indian videos that I put up on YouTube for you, in addition to the Indian video, I put up on Indian videos I put up on YouTube for you guys to watch. I'm putting up some knife videos as well. Okay.
I might have watched them. I've watched a lot.
Well, I haven't put up the knife videos for you guys to use yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we did.
No, about like a month ago.
Alright.
Just 30 days.
We could go.
About a week ago.
I'm going to show you how to sharpen your pocket knife. There's 3 ways I'm going to show you. First, with a whetstone. Second, with a hand sharpener.
Yeah.
And third, with a coffee can. Not a can, but a coffee mug. First, with the whetstone. I've had this whetstone soaking in here for a good 5 minutes or so. And what you're going to do with your whetstone is, if you haven't soaked it, just dab your fingers in some water and spread it around.
She still needs to be wet.
You can either set it on a surface or you can hold it like I do. When you do hold it, make sure your fingertips are tucked underneath it so you can't, if your fingers like this,
Like you don't
you might
slice
cut
off your
fingers
finger.
open. And I wouldn't want that to happen to you. So make sure your fingers are tucked in, and then one way is sort of like you're trying to scrape off a layer of the rock 3 or 4 times on each side.
This is the only time you ever scrape to
Once
you.
you
Because you
scrape
gotta
it
do both sides of the knife.
5 or so
Okay?
times on each side, or maybe 10, then you can start switching sides. And it's important to do this so the blade stays centered. And the reason you want the blade to stay centered is so you can be more accurate with your cuts. As you just saw me do right there, I got some stone left on the blade, and I like to wet that off so my blade looks cleaner. Another way is going like that with the blade facing towards not cutting the blade. I've noticed that if you go like this, it sharpens a lot faster. That doesn't mean you can't go like that. Another way to use your whetstone is use the side, but I'm not going to do that. So that's it with the whetstone. to use the hand sharpener, you're gonna wanna get the coarse side and sharpen your blade. You don't need to put too much pressure on it, but go like that until you can feel and hear that it
Sit up,
runs through smoothly.
where you're not hitting your pocket knife.
So there's no interruptions like or you notice this is almost a brand new knife. There isn't any nicks in it. So I've been taking pretty good care of this one. And then once you sharpen it on the coarse, you're gonna want to sharpen it on the ceramic. And you'll do this for 20 or so times. I'm not gonna do 20 just for the time.
So you sharpen all the nicks out of it, and then you finally grit the rest of it
A
off.
coffee mug.
You make it sharp
It's
and
been
soft.
drizzling out. You can add some water. I'm going to add some water to it now, and that's just to reduce friction. And to use the coffee mug, you would use it pretty much the same way you would use.
Do not use your parents' coffee mugs to sharpen your pocket knife.
Switch sides.
Use your own.
Just buy a whetstone, they're real cheap.
That's pretty much how you do it.
So it's the same way you do the
Another
whetstone,
video
but.
on how to test whether your blades are sharp or not.
Mhm.
And thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and please comment, rate, and subscribe.
After you guys earn them, you have to do all of your knife safety quizzes, and you have to carve your soap things first.
So
Remember? Yeah. Remember? How many of you guys, well, hold on.
okay, do you want to get my pocket knife?
I don't know where my phone is.
You gotta do your quizzes
Hey,
first.
what's up, guys?
Who has done their first soap carving? Who's actually sat and finished it?
No.
I have so.
At one of those We Below
Who
Day
finished
things.
his?
Is it?
I already made it.
AJ's like carved into his. Is it supposed to carve into the figure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
not just
mine
carving
is
into
gonna
the
be
soap,
a
but the design.
No, it's carving a figure out of it.
Okay, so like taking chunks off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
You still have a little bit more to do.
mine's gonna be a bit weird because I'm actually gonna like make it like I'm gonna actually like cut some chunks off and like trim it like it.
Yeah, that's what you guys are supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
All right, so for
I'm
next
smart.
Fed meeting in December, I guys
Listen.
want your at
Logan.
least
Put down.
your
Oh.
first soap carving finally finished. Okay? I got your soap here.
My
Because
soap
you've
is
missed
too
it.
small, like to do what I'm supposed to do.
Well, remember you guys are supposed to carve a design onto it, right? You put the design onto it first. And then you start making your cuts.
What's that day outing, Danielle, that is usually like out at McGuanago? Like for a day? And usually it's like in January.
Oh, yes. No, because we had already covered most of everything that they were gonna cover.
Oh, okay, because I thought that's where they did the soap carving, was at that event.
I don't know that they actually,
What was that called? Is that like
it was called
Jamboree? No,
Cabaret,
Cabaret.
but now it's called Winter Blast.
Okay.
But we decided not to do it because we've already covered that.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
actually go through the rules, but they don't do,
They don't actually carve the soap there?
And
that
I,
was on school property.
isn't this the year they make those chairs though too? No? I thought when they were chairs and everything. Maybe I'm thinking the
No, those
Might have been in the old
racers,
program.
oh the old program, yeah.
those
Alright.
board things.
Darn it, those were cool.
We made the board runners we did last year.
Yeah, board running
Your
did
mom
last
said
year,
no?
but those
Yeah.
chairs, okay.
That was old program.
Okay.
They're not doing that this year. So one more thing. I got my cut video here. Where are we? Cuts?
What time is that thing on Saturday, Danielle? I'm sorry.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Here, 10.
2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Shoot, where is it? Cub Scout Whittling. Here we go.
Well, some 2 p.m.
Am I gonna be at Kindercare tomorrow?
Yes.
You guys on that?
So I have on my account, on my YouTube account, it's under Cub Scout Whittling Chip. So it's got tons of videos, and I'll email it out to everybody.
I have to work, and Joel has,
Because I can't have those.
No, I'll email it out to you.
Somebody,
this thing called the Order of the Arrow. And they have to be elected into it.
I knew
So
Dead
he and
Means
Tana have
and
something going on with that, so.
I knew TV.
Oh, no.
Here we go,
He's
here we
gonna
go,
be at
guys.
Grandma's house already, so.
Mom, why I watch animal videos?
I think it's 4.
Tony, get over here.
Tony, come over here.
What I have, of course, is my pocket knife. And I also have just a little piece of wood.
This guy's gonna show you how to do the right cuts.
What I'm going to do is show you some hand movements and different ways to hold. Now, I like to hold the wood kind of up close to my body, as you can see. And I know some of you are asking, Mr. King, are you doing work? Well, yes, I am. But I'm afraid to break as a quick time to do some whittling. Whittling is one of those fun things you can do anytime. Now, our first cut is going to be the cut you're going to use the most. It's kind of a longer cut. It's just a normal cut. Please notice how I'm holding my knife. Holding it in my hand with a nice firm grip. I'm not pushing on the blade, but I am pushing down on the back with my thumb. What I'm going to do is take my knife, set it down on the wood. If you'll notice, it's about at a 20-degree angle or so, 20, 30, I'm not exactly sure. But I'm going to press down on the blade, just a little downward pressure, and then cut. Nice little piece of wood there. And again, cut. And that is our basic cut. Just a long, smooth cut. I can shape the wood. If I put more downward pressure, you see, it digs in deeper. If I put a little pressure, nice and light. So we can make deeper or lighter cuts as needed.
And this is the same cuts you use on your soap sculptures.
I start to dig into the wood. If you start to dig in, you have to really push. Stop. Back the knife up.
My grandpa used to do wood carvings, and I have like hippos and giraffes and elephants all carved up wood.
There's a girl who does wood
I
and
know where
stuff.
my hand is holding the wood.
Some videos on this
And I also notice
playlist
where
that I
my
have.
blade
Walking
is.
you through how to do
It's
various
not going to
carvings.
hit my hand or my thumb. Know where your whole hand is, know where your blade is at all times while cutting. And as you can see, just an easy cut. Nice and smooth. The next thing we're going to do, let's say I was going to make this into a spoon, and I'm going to need to round this off. Well, what I want to do first, though, is I'm going to make a neck down to that spoon. So I'm going to make what is called a stop cut. I'm going to put my blade perpendicular to my wood, directly on it. I'm going to put my thumb against the back and hold tight. Then I'm going to put considerable downward pressure on the piece of wood and then pull the blade back gently. Now, if you may be able to see, there's a slight cut in there, and that is our stop. You can do it a couple of times if you want to help. And how it stops is, as I make the cut now, sometimes it will stop the cut. Now I'm going to make it a little deeper. Obviously, I didn't make it deep enough. Now, in doing the stop cut, and to make a downward cut, I'm going to push.
Tony, come
Make
on.
a push cut. If you notice, I'm bringing my whole hand and push put the thumb of my whole hand onto the thumb of my knife hand. And then I'm going to push with my thumb hand and my other hand to make a deeper cut. See how it stops at my stop that I've cut in there. To make these little rings, if I want to get rid of them, I can again do the stop. These will fall right off. I can put my thumb again, angle the blade a little higher, and push down to my stop.
Sit.
That's an easy cut to do. Now, this is a cut that you want to practice. This is one of the basic cuts, and if you notice, on the wood I have a nice little divot there that I can start to round for my spoon. When I start to round for my spoon, I may make another cut. I will hold again, kind of choke up, and I will do what I call a hinge cut. If you notice, I'm going to put my thumbs again together,
Okay,
but act
guys.
like it's a hinge.
So you guys are gonna watch this again and again, okay? When you're making your carvings, okay? So this is gonna be on the internet for you guys.